this is just a time, we are a community. We are a part of the body, and so we want to listen to stories and events that happened on mission trip and things that we all experienced, and to share and rejoice in that together, and it is awesome. All right, Chelsea's first. Welcome up, Chelsea.
I'll share an experience that really moved me on mission trip. You know how every night we all went out, for those who were there. We went out and gave out Cheetos and socks and just talked to people and hung out with them, and it was really fun, and I ended up becoming friends with these people, and I was like, these guys are cool, and I still remember Gloria and all these people, and I love all of them. But so we were out one night, and there was this really tall, skinny guy, and I was with my family group, and we gave him some food, and we were like, is there anything we can pray for you about? And he was like, just to live through the night. And that hit me hard. I was like, I have never had to wish for that before, where I would just that I would be safe. And that it's it's selfish that it made me thankful, but I can almost take that as a gift from God, just being rested and reassured in my life that I am blessed and I have been given so many things. So that hit me really hard. So that was one experience that I learned from. And one thing that God gave me on the trip, which I was not actually asking for, which was a huge blessing, was I just graduated. Woo. Which I didn't think was going to happen. Joke. But so I went on the trip, and I was it's this whole summer and the end of the year was kind of in anticipation of I don't really want to go to college. High school is too fun. I don't want to leave. And so somehow God got into my heart, and he gave me a peace, in a sense, that it's going to be okay, and he gave me the ability to play soccer next year, which was something I didn't want to live without, and he gave me a small school that I know I'd be comfortable with, and I didn't even ask for these things from him, and he so gave them to me, and he gave me a comfort, and just he kind of put me at peace and gave me rest for the upcoming months and not to worry, and so that's what mission trip gave to me.
But we handed out meals and these little cardboard things. Actually, they're styrofoam. But so we go to these low-income housing units, and so we'd be go door to door and be hey, do you want some food? And can we pray for you? And so most people were just oh yeah, I want the food, and grumpily took it and slammed the door. But then some people were oh yeah, pray for me, yada yada yada. And then this one guy, Greg, Uri was his full name. We're can we pray for you? And he was no, not really, but I'll pray for you guys. And we're okay, all right, whatever. And so he gave us this whole long spiel about, yeah, he went to Catholic school for 12 years and then just kind of hit a rough patch, and is living there now. And so he gave us this whole long spiel, and it was oh, you're so sweet. And so we kind of parted our separate ways. He went back into his room, and we kept walking, and he then we heard his door open back up and him kind of run down the hall, and he gave us these rocks, and he was these are love rocks, and we were okay, thank you. And so he gave us rocks, but it was more than a rock, I guess. I don't know, it's hard to explain, because you had to be there to experience Gregory, and because anybody could hand you a rock and be this is a love rock, and you'd be all right, thanks, and throw it back on the ground.
I got to go on a mission trip, and it was hands down the most amazing experience of my life. I loved it. It was so great. And starting out there, it was kind of awkward just to go up to people randomly and give them food, and homeless people, and ask to pray for them. But it was really great, and I figured out that it was a passion of mine to be able to interact with these people and to build little relationships with them. And so I think a really important thing that I got from the trip is that relationships are just really important, because building a little relationship with a homeless person brings me closer to God in a way. Because when I go out with a purpose to go and pray for people, if it's a purpose that has to do with God, it's it makes me more comfortable, and I really love that. So it was a passion for me, and so when I got back to Boulder, I was able to go out, and the next day I went out and I talked to 4 homeless people, because I really loved it, and I got to pray over one of them, His name was Henry. I met him outside of the Dushanbe Tea House. And he was really angry, but after praying for him, he seemed a lot happier. He seemed more at peace, and it was a great experience. And we all, if you talk to anyone that went on the trip, we all have 100 things that we can tell you, like amazing things that happened to us, and just experience that we all had. So you should talk to people about it, because they're really fun stories. But I just want to encourage everybody to continue what we did in San Francisco, no matter where you are, even though it's a little weirder to do it where we live. But I mean, it's still really great.
The mission trip was a really good experience overall. But one thing that really stuck out to me this year was the power of prayer, and how in Boulder and at our church, it just seemed like God was just wasn't moving at all. And then you go out there and you see a guy become not addicted to crack, and you watch people shoot up, and it's just so different. But just the power of prayer was amazing. One night we all went out on the roof and just prayed over the city, and just the amazing things that happened during that time, just for me and for everyone else that was there, it was just really moving. And bringing it back to Boulder, it's a lot harder, at least for me. Everyone is having a really good, easy time bringing it back, but mine's a lot harder just because I don't really know what to do. I don't have people to pray for. I can't be oh, yeah, that one guy who was dealing drugs, pray for him. It's more of just normal life. And so I'm still trying to find a way to get back into the whole intense praying, but yeah, for now I'm just gonna wait for it and see. I know God's done amazing things in San Francisco and in my life and other people's lives, so he's not gonna stop just because we're back in Boulder.
I just wanted to come up here and just encourage those of you who were on mission trip to keep up things that are going on. And those of you who weren't on mission trip, I want to say something to you guys first. It's kind of hard, people coming up here and being oh, this is the most amazing thing in my life, and this is awesome and stuff. And it's just oh, well, I wasn't there, thanks. But I mean, one thing that Nicole said that I want to, reinforce is that this is the body, this is the church. A gathering of believers, that's the church, not a building. So everyone coming together and sharing stories and supporting one another, that's what's important. That's what's awesome about everyone coming back and being able to share stories. And I just encourage you guys to hear those stories and to help it encourage you guys in your own faith and what you guys are doing. For those of you who have come back and you're I know I identify with Matt a lot. It's really hard coming back sometimes from a trip like that and trying to adjust back to the life here. But it says in Hebrews 10, and people brought this up a couple different times, is let us not grow weary in doing good. Oh wait, sorry, that's Ephesians. My bad. Let's not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we shall reap a harvest if we do not give up. Right? So, I mean, we could just say, okay, that happened in San Francisco, we're back in Boulder, and we'll keep doing our thing. But I think it's really important that we try and figure out ways that we can serve one another. And it doesn't necessarily have to be, give me a minute. It doesn't necessarily have to be, hey, let's go give this guy a meal, or hey, let's go pray for this guy on the street. You can, if your eyes are open, if you're just really trying to figure out how I can help other people, I mean, talk to your friends and see if you can pray for your friends. See if you can pray for your parents or something. That would be a really good way to just keep serving one another.